Merry Christmas to you. I take this opportunity to wish you a grand and a Merry Christmas, and I hope that the season has already presented itself with such wonderful tidings for you, your friends, and your family. My name is Mwai. I'm a pastor with Christ is the Answer Ministries, and I want to share just a few thoughts with you, especially around Christmas. And I have entitled this particular broadcast, The Christmas Cast. The Christmas Cast. When you think of the word cast, you're thinking of a movie, like casting a movie, casting characters for a movie. Now, the story around Christmas, of course, has several players, if you will. It has several actors, if you will. And I think some of these guys who are around the Christmas story, around the birth of Jesus Christ, there's something you and I can learn from them. And I'll just highlight a few of them very quickly, maybe just for our own consideration, our own reflection, and maybe something that we can be able to pick up from them. In this Christmas cast, we have already talked about Mary and Joseph. So we are not going to talk about Mary and Joseph today, but let's talk about another character in this story, a man by the name of King Herod. When King Herod, who was ruling at that particular time, when he heard that this special baby had been born somewhere in Bethlehem, the Bible says that, of course, he was very disturbed. And he actually sought to kill the baby. You know, it is interesting that Christmas sometimes brings the best and the worst in people. There are people who, for some reason, have a very murderous kind of a spirit. They want to kill the spirit, the joy of Christmas. They want to pour cold water on the festivities. They don't see anything good with Christmas. That's what we see with Herod. Instead of rejoicing, instead of embracing the baby, he wanted to kill the baby. Are you a Christmas killer? Are you somebody who wants to kill the glad tidings? I hope not. But then there's another character. Now, this one we are not necessarily given him his name or who he was. All we know, we just know by implication. The Bible says that when the baby was being born, that he was born in a manger. When Jesus was born, he was born in a manger because there was no room in the inn. Now, if you know something about Bible history, you know that an inn was a place of hospitality, like a little hotel back in the day. And it was a place of hospitality where passers-by or travelers or people will come and they will lodge there for a night or two. Now, the fact that there's an inn that did not have room, we can imply that there was an innkeeper, because an inn was ran and managed by an innkeeper. And I think when I think about the fact that there was no room in the inn for Joseph and Mary, and of course, who was just about to have a child, my mind, I think, begins to think that it was not so much that there was no physical room, but it was more of an attitude, I think, of the innkeeper. Because if he was a man of hospitality or a woman of hospitality, whatever the case may have been, he would have seen that this is a couple that are in need. It's in the night. They are travelers. They don't have much on themselves. They don't have relatives maybe in the neighborhood where they can lodge the night. He would have had compassion and would have probably found a room for the couple. See, Jesus Christ later gives the story, or the story of this Good Samaritan. And in that story, the Good Samaritan picks up this man who had been injured by robbers and takes him to an inn and presents him to an innkeeper. As if Jesus Christ, remembering his own birth, recalling his own birth, gives kind of like a comparison between the two. The innkeeper in the Good Samaritan story was hospitable and gracious enough to receive the injured man. But the innkeeper, at the time of Jesus' birth, was not interested in being hospitable. Therefore, the baby had to be born in a manger. My question to you, Christmas presents opportunities. Actually, life presents many opportunities for us to be kind to one another, to respond to somebody else's need. I want to challenge you. Do not be like that innkeeper who missed that opportunity to respond to Jesus Christ, to respond to Mary and Joseph. But I hope that you will have the grace to be able to respond to other people's need. People will approach you as you're celebrating, as you're eating and drinking. Some other people may not have the luxury that you have. Respond to somebody graciously and kindly. Another character, or some other characters that I want to bring to us, actually this is a group of people now, we have the shepherds. The Bible says that the angels came and appeared to the shepherds who were tending their flocks in the night. And the Bible says that, of course, at first they were afraid when they saw this great multitude of angels. But they received the news that the angels was bringing to them. They received that news with gladness of heart. They were excited. And the Bible says that they went around and they began telling everybody about the birth of Jesus Christ. And they began spreading the good tidings. They were filled with so much joy. Now, you've got to understand that shepherds were people who were considered to be of low estate. These were not the who's who. These were just the usual common person that you will find in the neighborhood. They did not have money. They did not have influence in the neighborhood. If anything, they were despised in some quarters. They were looked down upon. But can you imagine that the angels appeared to the very lowly? And I have a feeling that sometimes God has a way of reaching us even in our lowliest state. He does not just knock on the doors of the high and the mighty, but he also comes to those who are downtrodden, those who people ignore, and he makes them the bearers of the good news. I don't know what your state in this Christmas, or how this year has been for you, where you are in life, but Christmas is also for you. Be the bearer of those glad tidings that God will place in your heart. Finally, there's also the three magi who the Bible says that they came from the east. Now, as opposed to the shepherds who are of a low estate, the magi, these were people of influence. These were leaders, these were rulers. And we can tell that because of the gifts that they presented. Now, these magi, for them, they came because they had heard and a star was leading them. You know, somebody has wisely said this, that wise men still follow the star. Wise men still seek him. If you are wise, you will still seek him. This magi came seeking for that one who had been born. They did not have much information, but the star led them to Bethlehem, right where the baby was. And look at what they did. The Bible says they presented their treasures to the baby, frankincense and gold and myrrh and whatever they are, and they worshipped the baby. And but more than that, they protected the baby, because when they went to Herod and they asked where this baby had been, Herod had told them, please, when you find him, please come and give me the report that I may worship him also. But of course, we know that Herod had no good intention. Herod wanted to kill the baby. So what did the Magi do? They were warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, not to go back that same route. So they took a different way. And as us, they protected the baby from the wrath of Herod. Different players. And I want to ask you, what is your response? In this story, in this cast, if you are part of that cast, if that casting had been done and you found yourself there, whether you are among the Magi, whether you are among the shepherds, or whether you are Herod, whatever the case may be, what role would you want to play? Because your response, or the role that you play in that drama, the Christmas drama, will determine the person that you are, will determine your destiny, will determine your relationship with God. Please, I ask you to take these words of mine and reflect upon them and think about Christmas. Do you have a relationship with Jesus Christ? As we celebrate Christmas, are you presenting treasures to him? The treasures of your worship, the treasures of your life, the treasures of all that you are and all that you have. Christmas is not just about festivities. It's not just about new clothes and new cars and a lot of food and travel. Christmas is about bringing those same treasures that we seek after and presenting him to Jesus at his feet and worshiping him. I wish you a Merry Christmas, and I wish you a worshipful Christmas. Keep seeking him. That is the spirit of Christmas. God bless you. My name is Mwai. Please, if you've enjoyed this video, please ensure that you leave a comment. Let us know. And also share it with as many as you can. Whether on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter. And may the Lord bless you this Christmas.